Ukraine is seeking a UN Security Council meeting after Putin's announcement that his country will station tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. NATO criticized Vladimir Putin for his dangerous and irresponsible nuclear rhetoric after the Russian president announced that his country would resign tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. Putin said on Saturday that speech was similar to moves from the United States, which stockpiles such weapons at bases in Belgium, Germany, Italy, Netherlands and Turkey, a Western ally, called misleading. With fears of nuclear war escalating since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, experts believe any Russian strike will likely involve small-sized battlefield weapons described as tactical, as opposed to strategic, high-powered long-range nuclear weapons. Ukraine said the United Nations Security Council is calling an urgent meeting to counter Russia's nuclear blackmail. Ukraine awaits effective actions to counter Kremlin's nuclear blackmail from the United Kingdom, China, United States and France, Ukraine's foreign ministry said on Sunday. We demand that an extraordinary meeting of the UN Security Council be convened immediately for this purpose, he added. NATO also joined in the criticism, and spokesperson Ona Lungescu said Russia's reference to NATO's nuclear split is completely misleading. NATO allies fully respect their international commitments. Lungescu also blasted Russia's announcement as dangerous and irresponsible. But he said the Western allies have yet to see any change in Russia's nuclear stance that would lead us to adjust ourselves. On Saturday, Putin announced that Russia would resign tactical nuclear weapons in neighboring and allied Belarus, without violating our international agreements on non-nuclear release. The Ministry Foreign Affairs Ukraine accused Russia violating its obligations and weakening the architecture nuclear disarmament and the international security system in general. He called on all members international community to convey to the regime of criminal Putin categorical inadmissibility its latest nuclear provocations. Susie Snyder, of the International Denuclearization Campaign, told Al Jazeera that Russia's use of nuclear weapons in Belarus could potentially have extremely disastrous consequences. It increases the risk of nuclear weapons use by adding more actors that could potentially drop nuclear S and create the potential for chaos and miscommunication, Snyder said. These weapons, if used, would have similar or greater results than we saw in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. They can cause massive catastrophic damage. Nothing unusual, Putin said. The move to place tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus was nothing unusual. The United States has been doing this for decades. They have long deployed their tactical nuclear weapons on the territory of their allies, he said. Putin said he spoke with Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko and they agreed to do the same. Russia will begin training teams on April 3 and plans to finish construction of a specialized storage facility for tactical nuclear weapons by July 1. Germany said the comparison was misleading. President Putin's comparison with nuclear sharing in NATO is misleading and does not justify the move announced by Russia, an official from the German Foreign Ministry told AFP news agency. Experts said Russia's move was significant as it prides itself on not placing nuclear weapons outside its borders, unlike the United States, so far. It may have been the first time it has done so since the mid-1990s. Scary tactics. Putin has previously said that nuclear tensions are rising globally, but Moscow will not be deployed first. In February 2022, Belarus allowed the Kremlin to launch its invasion of Ukraine from the Belarusian region. Fears have since risen that Belarus could join his allies' offensive, but President Lukashenko, a key Putin ally, said he would do so only when attacked. The Kremlin has taken Belarus as a nuclear hostage, Alexei Danilov, Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, wrote on Twitter on Sunday. He added that move was a step towards the internal destabilization of country. Putin is afraid of losing and all he can do is scare, added Mikhailo Podolyak, Vice President of Ukraine. The Russian leader said renewed discussions with Lukashenko on this issue were spurred by the British officials' proposal to send uranium weapons to Ukraine. We haven't used them yet.